Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. Our presentation is titled Understanding and Addressing Domestic Violence and Intimate Partner Homicide. We'll be taking a comprehensive look at the causes behind these serious issues, their profound impacts on individuals and communities, the legal frameworks in place, and most importantly, the strategies we can use to prevent them. This is a critical topic that affects many lives, and I'm looking forward to exploring it with you. Domestic violence and intimate partner homicide are serious issues that deeply affect our society. They don't just impact the individuals involved, but also have far reaching consequences for families and entire communities. Addressing these problems is crucial not only for improving public health and safety, but also for protecting basic human rights. When we fully recognize how widespread these issues are and understand the profound effects, we can develop better strategies for prevention and intervention. Ultimately, overcoming these challenges helps break cycles of trauma and strengthens social stability for everyone. Domestic violence refers to any kind of abuse that happens within intimate or family relationships. It's important to recognize that this abuse can take many forms. Physical abuse involves actions like hitting, slapping, or causing any kind of bodily harm. But abuse isn't always physical. Emotional abuse includes insults, threats, and manipulation that undermine a person's sense of self. Psychological abuse is about intimidation, isolating the victim from support, or exerting controlling behaviors to dominate the relationship. Economic abuse involves restricting someone's access to money or preventing them from working, which can trap them in the situation. Ultimately, all these behaviors are used to establish power and control over another person, making it difficult for them to break free or assert their independence. Understanding these different types of abuse is crucial in identifying and addressing domestic violence effectively. Intimate partner homicide is defined as the killing of a person by someone they are or were romantically involved with, such as a spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, or dating partner. What makes this form of homicide distinct from others is that it usually arises from domestic or relational violence, often following a history of prolonged abuse. Understanding this is crucial because it underscores the severe and tragic outcomes that can result from intimate partner violence, showing just how deadly these situations can become if left unaddressed. When we look at the scale of the problem, the numbers are deeply concerning. Globally, 1 in 3 women will experience physical or sexual violence from an intimate partner at some point in their lives. This highlights just how widespread and serious this issue is. Moreover, intimate partner homicide makes up a significant portion of female homicides worldwide, showing that the dangers women face in their own homes can tragically be lethal. Adding to the complexity is the fact that many cases go unreported. High levels of underreporting mean that the true scale of violence against women is often hidden, making it harder to address and prevent effectively. This combination of prevalence, severity, and underreporting underscores the urgent need for comprehensive action. When we talk about the causes and risk factors, one of the most significant elements is a power imbalance. This happens when one partner tries to exert control over the other, creating a dynamic where abuse can take root. Another important factor is substance abuse, which often leads to increased aggression and lowers inhibitions, making harmful behavior more likely. Mental health issues also play a role, especially when they affect judgment or impulse control, increasing the risk of abusive actions. Lastly, a history of prior violence or exposure to abuse during childhood can deeply influence behavior patterns, making someone more prone to either perpetrate or become a victim of abuse later in life. These factors don't exist in isolation, but often overlap, compounding the risk. When we look at the impact on victims and their families, the first thing to understand is the range of physical injuries involved. These can vary widely, from minor bruises to serious, life-threatening wounds that require immediate medical attention. Beyond the physical harm, there's a profound psychological trauma that victims often endure. This can include anxiety, persistent depression, and even post-traumatic stress disorder, which can deeply affect their daily lives and overall mental health. Another critical aspect is the social stigma and isolation that victims may face. Unfortunately, being marginalized or rejected by their own community and support networks can make recovery even more challenging. Finally, the repercussions extend to families as a whole. These experiences can disrupt family dynamics and have lasting effects on children's well-being, shaping their future emotional and social development. Understanding these impacts is essential in providing comprehensive support to those affected. Recognizing warning signs early is crucial because it allows us to intervene before the situation worsens. One major red flag is when someone has frequent unexplained injuries or makes repeated visits to the emergency room without clear reasons. Another key indicator is when a partner exhibits controlling behavior. This might include jealousy, constant monitoring, or restricting the person's freedom. We also need to pay attention to social isolation. When someone is cut off from friends and family, it can be a sign that abuse is escalating. Additionally, an increase in severity or frequency of abuse incidents is a serious warning. Being aware of these patterns helps us act quickly and provide the help that's needed before things get worse. When we talk about the legal framework surrounding domestic violence, it's important to understand the role laws play. They are essential in protecting victims and ensuring that perpetrators are held accountable for their actions. One of the key legal tools available are protective and restraining orders. These orders create a legal separation between the victim and the abuser, offering a form of immediate safety. Criminal laws specifically address domestic violence offenses and can even cover cases of homicide related to domestic abuse. Law enforcement agencies are crucial in this process as they respond to incidents, conduct investigations, and help enforce these laws. In some areas, there are specialized domestic violence courts designed to handle these cases. These courts understand the unique challenges involved and work to provide a more effective and sensitive judicial process. This specialized approach can make a big difference in delivering justice and support for victims. When it comes to preventing domestic violence and homicide, there are several crucial strategies we need to consider. First, intervention programs play a key role. These programs focus both on abusers and victims, aiming to address behaviors and provide support where it's needed most. Then, shelters are vital. They offer a safe haven and essential resources for individuals escaping violence, giving them a place to rebuild their lives. Counseling services are another important element, helping victims and even perpetrators work through trauma and encourage positive behavioral changes. Lastly, community education and support networks raise awareness and empower people to intervene before situations escalate. By combining all these approaches in a holistic way, prevention efforts become significantly more effective at breaking the cycle of violence. When we listen to real stories from survivors, we hear about prolonged abuse that often goes unnoticed for a long time before help is sought. Many of these accounts reveal missed warning signs or interventions that could have made a difference. Tragically, some stories include the loss of loved ones to intimate partner homicide, which underscores just how urgent it is to address this issue. These personal narratives do more than just provide information. They transform cold statistics into real human experiences, helping us to feel empathy and inspiring us to take meaningful action. When we look at the challenges in addressing domestic violence, one of the biggest issues is underreporting. Many victims don't come forward because they fear retaliation, feel ashamed, or simply don't trust that the system will protect them. This creates a significant barrier to getting help where it's needed. Another challenge is the limited access to support services. In many areas, resources are scarce, and victims struggle to find the assistance they require, whether it's counseling, shelter, or legal aid. This lack of access can leave them feeling isolated and vulnerable. Cultural challenges also play a role. In some communities, harmful norms can either condone or minimize the severity of abuse, making it harder for victims to speak out or seek help without facing judgment or backlash. Finally, there are coordination gaps among the various providers involved, like legal authorities, medical professionals, and social services. Without effective communication and collaboration between these groups, it's difficult to provide comprehensive and consistent support. Addressing these barriers is crucial if we want to create an effective response system and work towards preventing domestic violence altogether. It's crucial that we encourage victims to reach out for help through available resources like hotlines, shelters, and legal services. No one should have to face abuse alone, and these supports can provide safety and guidance. At the same time, raising community awareness is vital. When communities actively promote understanding and support initiatives, they create an environment where victims feel seen and protected. Equally important is providing training for professionals so they can recognize signs of abuse and respond effectively, whether in healthcare, education, or law enforcement. Beyond immediate support, advocating for stronger laws and ensuring that support programs are properly funded helps build a more robust safety net. Ultimately, it requires collective efforts from all sectors of society to foster safer environments and empower survivors on their path to recovery.